I'm not going to keep his hat on for long because it won't fit my headphones. And my arms are already getting tired.
Marek Robinson.
She answered the question. She said no, so then I went, okay.
And Phil Tremblay.
Nebraska could disappear off
know
the
it's in
face
the
of
States,
the
but
earth,
where's
and it would not
Nebraska?
affect me any.
Grab a seat because the show starts right now.
Welcome back to Coast. It's the two-man show today. No producer, no Alex.
Yeah, quick two-man episode today.
This will be interesting, but hopefully we got a lot in store for you. Hopefully we can talk about it for at least half an hour.
Some of the longtime viewers might remember one of the live radio shows that me and Landon did a handful of months ago without Alex, and
yeah, I've heard
that was a wreck.
I've heard stories about about that one, so I think it's fair to just dive right into the Stanley Cup playoffs.
Stanley Cup playoffs. More games played in the Eastern Conference Final and the Western Conference Final. Starting with the Eastern Conference Final, because that would have been yesterday.
Yep. Florida played the Rangers.
Florida brings it back.
Yeah, that was a really close game.
It was
3-2 in overtime. That's the third straight game that has actually gone to overtime in this series.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Which has been
that's just kind of a testament to how close this series is going to be. I mean, both these teams now have the same record of 6-4, which makes sense.
2-2 in the series. Yeah, they were. Rangers got off to a quick start last night. I was watching it while I was at work. Just an absolute rifle from Trocheck off in the slot. That was a really, really good shot.
Oh yeah.
Hey, Bobrovsky got a point off Sam Bennett's goal.
Oh, he did. That's sick.
I do believe.
Is that the first goalie point of these playoffs?
I don't think so. I think Ottinger got one.
You think?
I want to say Ottinger got one. Maybe Skinner as well. I want to say too. I think that Bobrovsky has more points than Zibanejad in this series. I don't think Zibanejad has registered a point. So obviously he didn't register one in Game 1 because they lost 3-0. The 5-4 New York win. No.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah, I think
you might be correct.
Bobrovsky is now leading, or I guess it's just ahead of Zibanejad in points.
Yeah, you are correct. In this series, Bobrovsky has more points than Zibanejad. That is a crazy stat line. One thing, and we said it after during the last show too, Alexis Lafreniere.
Wow, he
keeps it going. He really just wants to prove everybody wrong after that one.
Did you see that?
Goal.
Did you see that Fox goal?
I did not.
Fox,
I was at work.
I think it was Forsling. He does a 360 and does a backhand saucer pass. Lafreniere just tips it out of midair right behind Bobrovsky to tie it 2-2. It was unbelievable. He's been playing lights out. I think he's been a very highlight. He's just showing what the Rangers. He's just proving to himself and to his team that he is a good player. He's the seventh goal.
Yeah, he's kind of making sure that people remember him for something other than that own goal.
That was his seventh goal
in the 3-0 loss.
Seventh goal of the playoffs. So he's been playing lights out.
Yeah.
These teams do not like each other.
No.
47 hits for the Rangers and 43 for Florida. Like, just wow.
Have we seen a Rempe fight yet? I don't think so.
We have not. And a costly penalty in overtime by Blake Wheeler in his first playoff game.
Yeah.
I was watching this last night, and it looked like, I may be mistaken, but it looked like Wheeler took a penalty to make sure I can't remember what Florida player it was, to not get an open shot, like right in front of Shesterkin.
Yeah.
Let me search it up real quick. Just give me 1 second here. But yeah, it's actually been a lot closer than I thought. I kind of didn't expect Florida to kind of stick around, especially with how dominant the Rangers were against the Capitals and the Hurricanes.
Yeah, once again, it's a testament to Bobrovsky. Like, looking at these shots, like 40 shots on goal from Florida versus New York's 23. The fact that New York even made it to overtime with that kind of a shot discrepancy.
Yeah, it's been interesting. They got it's like almost like Boston when it was Boston, Florida. Boston wouldn't shoot very often, but when they would, it was
dangerous.
Yeah, they would. Let me see. Where is this Blake Wheeler penalty? Because a lot of people were. Yeah, so a lot of people were arguing that it could have been a penalty shot, I believe. Obviously, don't think Florida cares anymore, just because they.
Yeah, because they won.
Scored. Game 4, obviously.
Yeah, I was at work last night, so I didn't really get to watch it, but I heard it was a pretty good game.
I know Reinhardt ended it off a one-timer. That was a really good goal. He was quiet for most of that game. Every time I just click on a video in this game or in this series, it's just fights. It feels like it doesn't actually show. So apparently, on a breakaway, I believe Wheeler high sticked. Let me take a look. Hooked Barkov, which then set up the power play, and obviously the rest is history. But it's 2-2. Game 5 going back to New York.
New York will be looking.
Yeah, I would agree. They'll be looking to bounce back after.
I think New York could take both of these ones at home and then just seal the deal. But
well, they go.
They
go New York, Florida, New York again.
Oh right, yeah.
I don't know. This could
so close.
This could go 7 because Florida stole in New York game 1, but then Rangers also stole one in Florida in game 3.
Yeah.
Who you got game 5? Tomorrow.
I'm gonna give that to the Rangers. I think, especially after like an overtime loss like that, they'll come back swinging. They'll come back knowing what they need to do.
Yeah, I would agree. I think Zibanejad just got to get on the board. He's got to get some points. Fox has been playing outstanding. Trocheck's been arguably the Conn Smythe person for the Rangers, if you don't want to count Lafreniere or Shesterkin. And then Lafreniere's been playing out like he is supposed to. Late night for this guy, obviously.
Always is.
Yeah, I would agree. I got the Rangers, but I don't want to I don't know. It seems, I don't want to say Rangers in 6 because it could very well go to 7.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean,
but these teams love playing overtime.
But we got ourselves a 3-game series.
Yeah, so I think jumping ship to the Western Conference Final. Game 4 tonight, I believe, 6:30 Mountain Time, so 8:30 Pacific, if I know my time zones properly.
And a Robertson hat trick.
Oh boy, McDavid was wow. Did you watch that game or see any highlights?
No.
The Oilers in the first period were flying, like just Dallas couldn't do anything.
Yeah.
They could just. McDavid was on a roll, and it was just that team was that if Edmonton plays like that, they win. Like, it was just insane the way Dallas was just hemmed in their own end.
What did McDavid do here?
McDavid registered, I believe, he scored in the first, unassisted. He had 2 points in this game. Connor Brown got another point. Love to see it.
I'm confused here because it says it's an own goal.
So it was weird. I believe it bounced off a player.
I'm just trying to see who it was. Like,
yeah, I was watching it too, but it looked, I don't know, from what I saw was just kind of trickled in through like a weird like gap between Andre's skate and the post.
Yeah, I don't know why that would be classified as an own goal. Who's 91? Whoever 91
just looking at this right now, Hyman cuts in, and then dishes it to Ekholm.
Seguin.
Oh, because I think it bounces. I think you can qualify that off of. It's McDavid's goal because he tips it.
Yeah.
But it tips it right into Sagan's skate, which then goes in.
Yeah, so that's why it's called.
Not as bad as Lafreniere's own goal, ironically.
Definitely nowhere near as bad.
But Jason Robertson, what a time to wake up.
Yeah, just decides to call game.
And I believe it was on his first goal. It was right in front. That was McDavid's man to pick up.
Yeah.
And McDavid was just not happy with himself because Robertson, that was his job. excuse me, his player to watch and try to defend, but just Robertson with a wicked release. And yeah, don't think I don't know if that's the first. I don't think that's the first. Oh no, it's definitely not the first hat trick in the playoffs because Chris Kreider got one against Carolina. But just an absolute ripper by Jason Robertson to put it 2-1. Rube Hintz returned that game. His absence was very much missed as he registered 2 assists in that game.
Yeah.
Edmonton's power play. I don't know. It was 0-2 in Game 3. Going back to
0-2 in Game 3.
Game 2.
It was pretty deadly earlier in the playoffs.
Oh,
but, I mean, Dallas's
you almost
penalty
guaranteed
kill.
a goal.
Yeah, but now Dallas's penalty kill has kind of figured it out.
They're 0-4 between games 2 and 3. I'm just checking Game 1. I think they did get one in Game 1. I want to say it was the overtime goal. I was wrong. So the Edmonton Oilers are Dallas. That was yikes. Edmonton is 0-5 in this series in power plays. Dallas
They haven't gotten a single power play goal in this series.
That's
huge for Dallas.
Yeah, no, Dallas's penalty kills really stepped up, especially against how good this Edmonton. Dallas is 0-6 between games 1 and 2 because they had 5 power plays in Game 1, and they had that 4-minute one in overtime, which they should have. Yet no team has scored a a power play goal. So
that's crazy. This whole series.
That's kind of
that's not something we would have expected from these two teams.
Oh, 100%. Anna Henrique returned, scored a goal. Good for him. It's close. I think the depth for Dallas is really proving to be a challenge for.
Yeah, I think the other thing that Dallas is proving is that we're right.
Oh,
when
100%.
it comes to Stuart Skinner.
100%.
Pieced apart. Like Dallas only got 22 shots on goal.
Yeah, I read this somewhere off the Instagram page of Puck Empire. Very reliable, very. This was posted 2 days ago. Oilers goaltender Stuart Skinner has the 16th worst save percentage in NHL playoff history in a minimum of 20 games with an .884. So, is he better than Mike Smith? Yes. Good news for Edmonton fans is that he's still very young.
Yes.
He's being put into a position that not a lot of rookie goaltenders thrive in.
Yeah.
In this sort of, because Stuart Skinner.
Except for Sheelove.
True. And Matt Murray, I guess.
Yeah.
Because he is.
And Aiden Hill.
That is true.
And all of the rookie goalies that
have won, I guess, the past few
really
years.
hard.
25 years old, so he's got lots of time. I don't like. Obviously, if you're Edmonton, you're a little worried with that Draisaitl contract extension kind of looming over, because it's not over this year, but he's available or he can get an extension, but it's just he's been all over the place. I've seen him going to Boston, I've seen him going to Utah, but again, those can be very unrealistic trades, especially some of the Marner ones I've seen. Ooh.
Yeah.
But
some of those are kind of fun to think about. They play in Edmonton again tonight after dropping the first one at home. Does Picard get the start? Like 8-10.
No, Stewart's. It's actually been confirmed. Skinner got is getting the start.
Oh, that's confirmed already tonight. Do you agree with it? Like that's brutal.
I would. Because though Pickard started game 4 in the Vancouver series, right? And he ended up winning for Edmonton.
Yeah.
I would still stay Skinner. I think because what he hasn't like game 1, he posted a. Let me just see here. What was his save percentage in game 1? Box score. He posted a 9.39 in game 1 when they won in double overtime. So stopping 31 of 33 shots. So that's good. That's very reliable. That's a great game by Skinner.
Yeah.
I would agree. And we're not Skinner haters. Obviously.
No, we love Skinner, but
we think it's just
he's not that good.
Yeah.
Right now. He might be good later.
Exactly.
Right now, not great.
9-17 in the 3-1 loss in Game 2, stopping 23, because I believe they got an empty net. So he had 23 shots, or 23 saves off 25 shots. Because again, Dallas is not shooting the puck like a whole lot, right? So
No, but they're still smoking him.
I don't think he had a very good save percentage in Game 3, to be honest.
No, I'm looking at it right now. It was .81.
Ouch.
That's what I'm saying.
Ooh,
I'm like,
that is not good.
after a .81, I'd be giving Picard the nod.
I don't know. You're not in elimination. You're still at home.
I mean, but Picard was the. I'm probably pronouncing it. They're probably going to rip me apart.
I
But
think it's Pickard.
Pickard got him out of a tough spot
That is
against
true.
Vancouver
That is true.
when Skinner struggled, and then Skinner came back and played good again. Why not stick with that same formula?
That is true.
Unless you don't have faith in Pickard against
I don't
a team
know.
like
I don't know if
Dallas.
it's that. Because they threw him in over Skinner in Game 4 in Vancouver.
I think so, yeah.
So when they were down 2-1?
Yeah.
So obviously in a non-elimination game, it's been confirmed already that Skinner is starting. So this is all very hypothetical talk, but another thing interesting about this series is Miro Heiskanen. He has not been on the ice for a goal in 8 games. That's going back to, I believe, Game 5 of Colorado, and he's not been on the ice for a goal.
He's still
against.
+2 though. Oh, a goal against.
So he's been a very good defensive presence. But again,
we always knew Heiskanen was going to be.
Again, if you're Edmonton, you're looking back at that first period thinking, whoa, because they played lights out in the first period. They held Dallas to 3 shots to 10, but then look at this. So first period, Dallas had 3 shots. Edmonton had 10. Second period, Dallas had 16. Where'd all the, what happened? What? And then again, you held the Dallas to 3 shots again in the third.
Yeah.
You can't have that.
You can't do that because then Robertson goes and gets a hat trick.
Yeah, exactly. And obviously, Johnston playing outstanding for how young he is. Sagan still, it's just insane. Like, the depth on this team is just outstanding. You literally, in the first round, you put the teams with the most depth against each other. Unless you want to maybe argue Florida and New York, kind of, with Goudreau. Barclay Goudreau, I believe that's his name.
Yeah.
He's been amazing.
He's been great too. Yeah.
He's scored 2 one game and then scored the overtime winner. He's 4 in the playoffs. Who do you have win tonight? Who would you say?
My heart says Edmonton. My mind says Dallas. I would like to see Edmonton win it, just to keep it a series.
Yeah.
But it's so tough. Dallas is so good.
Okay, but you play like you did in that first period, and you are that's a cup-winning team.
Oh, absolutely. But you got to be a cup-winning team through 3
That
periods,
is true.
Unless you can score 5 goals in 1 period.
That is true.
Which isn't what Dallas did, but might as well have, right? They got the 3.
It's just been, I don't know. It's too close to call, obviously, with this. Again, it's so weird to go off of how dominant Edmonton was in that first.
Yeah.
Just watching that game, versus the second and third. Obviously, according to shot wise, you dominated the third period, but you can't 16 shots. So off those 16 shots, that's 3 goals. That was 3 goals in the second, and 1 goal in the third because 1 was an empty net. So obviously that doesn't go against Skinner.
Goal was an empty net.
But that's Heiskanen's 6th goal of the playoffs too.
As a defenseman.
That's Robertson. There. Excuse me. Jason Robertson, 6th goal. He had 3 going into that game.
Yeah, so he doubled up in game 3.
Holy. Hyman has 13. Whoa, that's a lot, obviously. McDavid picked up his 4th. He has 22 points, I believe, in these playoffs. Again, game tonight. It just depends. Like, Edmonton's got to look at that first period and be like, okay, we played perfectly there. We just have to work on. We have to.
You have to play.
You can't give up on that play because. No. And you got to get the power play going. Like, for both teams. Obviously, both teams' penalty kills have been perfect.
Yeah, Edmonton is so reliant on that penalty
100%.
or power play unit. Like, they need to. But that kind of comes back to what we said last week about McDavid being McDavid. He needs to be.
Last game he in that first period, he was McDavid.
Yeah, but he needs to do that more.
100%. I believe, like, after the first, I think he had 3 shots and a goal. Like, he was, and an assist. He was just firing on all cylinders. I think he had, McDavid ended with a goal, an assist, 2 points, 6 shots. So he was, like, I think he really really made it his goal to just shoot and help his team kind of generate offense.
Which is good. And that's what he needs to do.
And I just learned, Darnell Nurse, that contract is coming up soon.
Yeah.
Whoa, that's almost as bad as Huberdeau's.
Yeah, I would say worse than Huberdeau's, personally. Darnell Nurse has 17 points. Oh, that's his career playoffs. This season he had 32 points, so it's around Huberdeau level.
So right now he has a cap hit of 9.2, which is ridiculous. But I did see somewhere that it changes.
I'm looking at his last 5 games, which are obviously all playoff games. Zeros across the board. And then the last one, game 3 versus Dallas, -2.
Yeah.
And then the last game against Vancouver, he was -1. He's got, against Dallas, he's got 4 shots.
And he plays with, is it Desjardins? Is that the, because obviously we know, yeah. So I think, just looking at the game 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 defensemen, so they're not running 7. I know Ekholm and Bouchard are the top pair, which obviously makes the most sense.
Yep.
I want to say Nurse and Desjardins and then CC and Kulak. I could be wrong. But like looking at the time on ice, Bouchard's leading your team. I don't know. I think he needs to step up a bit. Recently, I know McDavid spoke out today earlier, kind of just defending his teammate, which as a captain, obviously you kind of expect.
Yeah, you have to.
But so yeah, obviously game today, game tomorrow. Next show is Sunday. Is there a possibility that the Stanley Cup Finals could be decided
by the next show? I would say.
Is that possible? Because
I would say no. I don't think it will be.
I don't think it will be. It's possible, but you have to. Dallas can put a chokehold on Edmonton tonight, though.
Dallas could do it. It's possible.
Yeah, it is.
If Dallas wins the next 2, and Florida. Yeah, but I don't think it's going to happen. I think because we said this. I think Florida and New York is going Game 7, which would be Monday.
Yeah, I think both these series are going 6-7. I think Edmonton's got a lot of fight left. And if they get that,
Edmonton.
If they get that, I think Dallas is going to win. But if that power play gets going, Dallas is in trouble.
That's true. But if Edmonton is going to do that, they need to do it now.
Yeah, and then I think Skinner needs to step up.
Yeah.
Obviously, you've posted 2 great save percentages in the past 2 games. But you just gotta keep going. If you have a bad game, you have a bad game. Bounce back. That's basically all you can do in these playoffs.
Just looking at Darnell Nurse's, just taking us back to that. Mm-hmm. It looks like it goes down after.
Does it?
Going into.
I read somewhere.
Oh, sorry. So next season is 24-25.
Yes.
So yeah, it goes up to 12.
Yeah, that's right.
And then 25-26 back down to 10. And then 26-27 down to 8. And then down to 7.2. until 2030.
So just going back to my favorite Instagram page, Puck Empire. So the highest salaries for next season, just some notable names. Your top three are Matthews with 16.7. That's a lot of money. McKinnon 16.5. Pedersen 14.5. I think those are good numbers for those players.
That's so much money.
Some are weird ones. You have Seth Jones making 12.5. That hurts. Darnell Nurse makes $12 million.
Yeah.
To put in
To
perspective,
do nothing.
Yeah. To put in perspective, funny perspective. Between the top 14 players that make the most money, there are 3 cups. The Braden Point has 2.
Yeah.
Oh no, there's not more. So Matthews has 0, McKinnon has 1, Pedersen has 0, Nylander has 0, Pasternak 0, Dahlin 0, Hamilton 0, Seth Jones 0, Pietrangelo has 2.
Yeah.
He won in St. Louis and then won last year with Vegas. Barkov doesn't have any. Aho doesn't have any. Fox doesn't have any. Point has 2. So, and then Darnell Nurse has 0.
Yeah.
Pending. If you could get 1, but we don't know. But so out of
If he gets one this year, it's not going to be because of him.
no. Yeah, I think we want to move on to the Memorial Cup.
Yeah, that's enough from Edmonton, I think.
So we actually learned some new things today.
We discovered this. For some reason, I thought all 4
I thought the same
made the
thing.
final, and they kind of did a playoff into the final. But today we discovered that we are wrong
One
about
team
that.
is guaranteed eliminated.
Yeah, so
looking at-
after the round robin, the top team makes it into the final, and then second and third play for the second spot. As it stands right now, the London Knights and the Saginaw Spirit, the host team, are tied for that spot. Moose Jaw will be in the semis.
Yeah, they snuck it last night.
Yeah, because Moose Jaw and
Moose Jaw's games have also. I'm rooting for obviously people who've watched recently, which I hope is a lot of you. No, I'm rooting for Moose Jaw, and all their games have been close.
yeah,
Like they
have
lost
playing pretty good.
game 1 against Saginaw, I believe.
Saginaw.
They lost 5-4. And then your London Knights game was a lot closer than I thought. You
Oh, yeah.
lost ironically 5-4.
Yeah, and then beat Drummondville.
I think what was that 5-4 as well, ironically? Or what was the
5-3.
5-3? So they're like, 5 goals. It's funny too is top 5 players in points, 3 of them are on the Moose Jaw Warriors.
Yeah.
So you have Matthew Savoy with 4, Brendan Yeager with 6, and then you're gonna have to say the first name. I do not know.
Then Matejchuk.
Yes, he has 7.
Yeah. Actually, looking at Moose Jaw, they have the most goals for.
Oh, that's true.
They're actually 50-50 on goals for and goals against. 13 goals.
Goaltending is a different story. Michael Simpson of the London Knights is posting a just flat 2 goals against average. Andrew Okie, or Oak, however you say it, of the Saginaw Spirit is posting a 350, 3.5 save percentage. Riley Mercer of the Drummondville Voltigers is posting a 407, and Jackson Unger is posting a 443.
Save percentage?
No, goals against. So he's averaging about 4 goals a game.
That's brutal.
So,
So
save percentage, he has the second best.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, the difference between goalies and save percentage. So it goes Mercer of Drummondville, 850. Andrew Okie, or whatever, of Saginaw with an 860. Jackson Unger with an 888. And then Michael Simpson with a 934.
That's London
So
Knights.
it's a gap. It's a very big gap.
The gap between the London Knights and the other 3 teams is quite large.
And also Simpson has a shutout. No other goalies have a shutout, obviously.
Yeah.
So
Granted, they have only played 3 games.
Yeah.
Saginaw and London have only played 2.
I like how we learned that though. I had no idea that if you make, obviously we know 4 teams make the cup. I thought 2 and 2, not someone gets a bye.
Yeah, no.
So Moose Jaw winning that last game just
was
saved
huge.
their season.
Yeah.
So
'Cause
they would
made
play
it
the
into
loser of tonight's.
Of the game tonight. So the final game tonight is the Saginaw Spirit versus the London Knights. Both of them are undefeated. That
I think if
will
you're-
end. I think if
you're
you're
Moose Jaw, you're
Jaw,
praying. You got to think London wins.
I think London.
I
is
think you'd
gonna win.
want London to win, because then if you can, obviously you've won a game, you've won your first game ever, because that's the first time Moose Jaw's ever won. So you're going into game 2 against, let's say you're going against Saginaw, I believe, right?
Yeah.
You beat them, you're on a 2-game win streak. You're going in with some momentum.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, that's pretty
obviously,
sweet.
if London makes the finals, they're undefeated so far, so they're gonna be feeling good. But
I think either way, Moose Jaw's in a pretty tough position.
oh, 100%.
Because the London Knights are obviously super dominant. The OHL has a
Easton Cowan.
they're the top league in Canada. other
Easton
than the
Cowan is
NHL.
a prospect of the Toronto Maple Leafs as well. So
Yep.
Toronto, I know they're obviously you'll be feeling pretty happy about that.
Yeah, but like with both London, because London is so good, and then you have a really tough home court advantage to deal with Saginaw. But London is also enjoying a bit of that too, just because they're of the
100%.
proximity.
So every team won except Drummondville. right?
Drummondville did not get a win, so bummer.
They had 32 penalty minutes. There's also
That's
excuse me.
huge.
There has been lots of fights, and I've seen one clip where there was a cameraman who jumped on the opportunity because they are all white, obviously,
Yeah.
and it just was right there. It was just like you were in NHL. It was just the video game, like
Yeah.
NHL 24. You just so that view was nice to see. You felt like you were right on the ice watching that.
Yeah, there's different rules, obviously. Like with the NHL, like those guys are just so big that you can't really fit another camera onto the ice.
No, and you don't know when they're fighting, right? Because that obviously that cameraman is like there for the anthem, so he's on the ice, and then
Yeah.
they skates off usually to the penalty box kind of spot, or the spot between benches where the on ice commentator would be.
Yeah.
And I was genuinely surprised that he jumped on the ice. I was like, oh, I don't think
That's pretty sweet.
I've never seen that.
Because in for world champs and Olympics and stuff,
You can't fight.
you can't fight, but they have
Yeah.
camera guys on the ice.
Oh, 100%, yeah.
So
And then
I've always
I
been
also
curious.
love the helmet cam for refs.
Yes,
so
the
like,
helmet
you
cam
get
is
the goals
cool.
just.
Yeah, the helmet cam is cool. I think the NHL needs to adopt that.
I do too.
I don't understand why they can put camera guys on the ice for Olympics and IIHF, but not the NHL.
I'm not sure. I don't know because obviously different rules.
Yeah, it must just be a rule thing.
Yeah, I don't know. Because I can understand for playoff hockey in the NHL because obviously there's a scrum almost after every whistle.
Yeah.
So there's no point in putting a guy out there. But I don't know. How do you also even know there's going to be because obviously when the gloves are off.
Yeah.
Then that cameraman you got to be given a green light.
Yeah.
And he got close. He got probably. Let's say there's a guy next to you. You're fighting that guy. He's about
Yeah.
where I am.
Yeah.
He's right there. So.
Yeah.
That's an interesting kind of perspective, and it's kind of interesting to see all the different rules. Because I know I know it's for Olympics for sure, but the ice is bigger than the NHL. I know that. I'm not sure if it's the same with the World. I'm going to assume so. But I know the Olympic ice is bigger.
That's probably why then
So-
there's a little bit more space. That makes sense, actually.
I don't know. It's kind of interesting seeing how there's different rules in each. Obviously, obviously juniors is going to be different than juniors WHL all the way up to. But it's interesting seeing a lot of those rules. And a little funny anecdote from last show, we mentioned
Antidote?
that's not the word.
That's not the word.
We're tired.
Anecdote.
Anecdote.
There
Thank
you
you. We mentioned Angel Hernandez for being a really bad referee. He retired.
And he retired. So, maybe he was listening.
we jinxed it.
We jinxed it, yeah.
But you watched some of his clips.
Oh, so bad.
I watched there was this Instagram video where it was could you make the right call? And it was an umpire that had a camera, and you would watch it. And it's okay, obviously it's not the easiest because they're throwing very fast.
Yeah.
But let's say this computer screen is this part of the strike zone.
Yeah.
He's calling strikes out here.
Oh, yeah.
And it's just dude, how? It's just I don't understand.
Yeah. No,
Obviously-
I've seen some of those clips. It's so brutal. Anyway, that's going to be some pretty sweet hockey to watch tonight. We're so lucky that the Memorial Cup is covered on TSN, that you can actually watch it.
I would agree.
Because for most of the CHL, you have to buy like its own
100%, yeah.
package, which we're lucky enough that we know people that do it, so we can watch games. But very lucky to watch.
Or you can just go to other streaming websites,
Or honestly, you could just go to a Hitman game because it's probably just as expensive.
that is true. Not right now, though. Obviously, you can't really go.
Yeah, when the Hitman are
You
back
can go
in
if you
action.
want, but I just don't know if you're going to get in.
I'm going to try and watch that game tonight. I'll be at my pinball tournament, but I'm still going to, hopefully it'll be on the screen. Saginaw Spirit, London Knights, 5:30 p.m.
I got
tonight.
London.
I got London as well, I think.
So,
Because like I said, London is also enjoying what's almost a home court advantage. They're like, when it comes to people in the crowd, it's, from what I've seen, it's almost 50-50 Saginaw London.
yeah.
So that's going to be an exciting game. These are the two heaviest hitters. That's how it is in the
That's
OHL.
what's so nice, too, because, like, obviously, for you, for example, you're cheering for Moose Jaw because it's a WHL.
Yeah.
So, obviously, the league that you watch the most is, like, no matter even if, like, they're the most hated, you hate that team the most, but if you're huge on the WHL, that you're now with the WHL.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's not just, you can argue it's not cheering for Moose Jaw, it's cheering for WHL hockey.
Dub or whatever you want to call it.
So that's, I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
I think we should moving on to the PWHL.
Yeah.
Game 5, which is their
right?
which is their last game. So that's their game 7. For some, I know some. I was a little confused as well, but it's their game 7. So their game 5 is tonight, 7 p.m. Eastern, so 5 p.m. Mountain, if my time is still correct.
Yep.
Obviously, controversy from the last game from our Sunday show.
Yeah, we got to kind of do a bit of it live, which was kind of fun.
A way to have your very first game, or very first final, have that controversy. You score a goal that wraps it. You think you've wrapped it up. You're about to put the bow on it, end the game, end the series, end the season, and then a 10-minute lengthy review after all the sticks are on the ice. Yeah. You've just celebrated with the people you've been going to war with the past few months, and then suddenly, and it's gone.
It's gone. And then it goes the other way, and Boston scores the first goal. I
will give it to Minnesota, though. After they, obviously Boston kind of celebrated and did the little cool run out. I think it was Mueller that scored the winner. She kind of just looped and walked out, which I think is pretty cool, obviously. And it happens a lot in football, like NFL overtime. But I give with Minnesota, I give really good props because they
still kept their head up.
Wait, no, this is game 4. Am I crazy?
No. Game 4 would have been.
Yeah, but sorry, it's now I just see
game
3
5
scores and I only see Boston win 1, so I'm just a little confused.
No, Boston's won 2 now.
Yeah, okay. Just kidding. It was Mueller. She just dipped. What I was trying to get to my point, is that the mindset for especially the goalie, obviously losing 1-0, it just comes down to goaltending. She immediately just went over and just did a handshake line, and that just saluted the crowd, obviously, because it's going to be the last game. You're not going to play Minnesota for this season now. Yeah. But just obviously going from the mindset of we just won the first ever PWHL championship to
having to go back
and now you have to play hockey again.
Now you got to play one more.
No, it was really good seeing that mindset, especially from the goalie. Obviously, a heartbreaker goal. But yeah, they kind of they heads held high. Obviously, you're gonna be angry going into Game 5 tonight. Oh yeah. You are going to be very angry.
I think Minnesota's going to win tonight.
I think so too. But all the games have been close, or
for the most part. I mean, the 2 Minnesota wins in the middle of the series, you're looking at 3-0 and 4-1.
3-goal differentials. Goaltending's been good, decent this.
I mean,
especially the last game.
To see a 0-0 score going into double overtime is pretty insane.
That's some stressful stuff. Yeah. No, it's good. Obviously, in our Sunday on our Sunday show, the final will be done, obviously. So hopefully,
Yeah, we can talk about that as well.
that'll be good. It's really cool seeing this unfold. Obviously, the PWHL has done some amazing things that I feel like the NHL should adopt, like the 4-point or the 4-point system and that kind of thing.
I mean, I kind of brought this up on Sunday, and then while we were doing the whole PWHL thing, Molson Canadian, they said they were going to do this nameplate thing, and then we're watching the game and it's not there.
Yeah.
Like, did they just decide not to do it, and they just kind of put that out? Like, that's just free advertising for Molson if they didn't actually do it.
Because the PWHL is sponsored by, is it Tim's and Canadian Tire? I want to say. The PWHL sponsor.
Because that's a really, really cool initiative, I think. But they didn't do it. So
the founding partners are Canadian Tire, Ayers Pura, Scotiabank, inaugural premier partner, Air Canada, and Woody Creek, the distillers. And then, excuse me, your official partners are Pro Hockey Life, Sports Check, Sports Experts, CCM, Bauer, Remax, Tim Hortons, Pix Mob, Rogers, Schneider Electric, Royalty, just says Pizza, but I think that's Little Caesars.
yeah, same company.
QuickBook, Barbie, Underdog Fantasy, Molson, they have a lot of them. Discover, UPS, Elf, Eyes, Lips, Face, Royale, Hyundai, Soliel Escape, and then obviously your suppliers. So Sherwood, like you have some like Renfrew for hockey tape, Sherwood, Warrior, Vaughn, Blade Master, like just stuff that mostly common gear. You'll find anywhere.
Yeah. So I just learned. So the Molson thing, it was just for International Women's Day. So
yeah, I don't know.
it was just for one game, Toronto versus Montreal. But like,
I don't know.
why wouldn't you
the
keep that?
PWHL is a lot bigger than everyone anticipated.
Oh, absolutely. All the records broken. Like, I mean, when we were watching the game on Sunday, there was 40,000 people watching the YouTube
it
stream,
was
which
just
is crazy.
I can't wait till more teams are in it. Obviously I think there's only 2 Canadian teams.
Montreal and Toronto, yeah.
Well, obviously.
Oh, and Ottawa. Isn't there
Ottawa, Montreal, Toronto. So there's 3. I also love their anti-tank system.
Yeah.
It's a bit weird because it's a bit weirder because New York was eliminated first, but it's just like you get a whole new record to prove, and then that gives you more an incentive to win.
Yeah.
So let's say you're Chicago, like from this year, you start winning games after you've been eliminated.
And all of a sudden you could have Celebrini.
Now you could have Celebrini along with Bedard, right?
That would be crazy.
They do some great things.
I think Molson Canadian should do this for all of the jerseys.
100%.
They have
100%.
the money to do it.
You have 6 teams.
You're Molson Canadian.
I think obviously as a show we've discussed we want an Alberta team or a Calgary, Edmonton, Pennsylvania. Alex and I didn't really specify Philadelphia or Pittsburgh. Some other ones.
What else were we saying? We were saying that they should go to places that don't have like a NHL team.
Right.
So I said Halifax.
Yes, that's a good one.
Because they're going to want to keep it east for a little bit.
Yeah.
So I said Halifax.
I still think you might want to touch on some like Detroit with how rich their hockey is. Like,
yeah, Detroit or Cleveland.
Cleveland will be good. They don't have a hockey team.
Yeah.
No, it's just been. I'm happy. Like the league has just been, like just good, and I really think the NHL can look at some of this stuff and be like, okay, maybe we can get some. Maybe in a meeting where we need to change some rules, like the overtime stuff. Like the Islanders, Islanders in Boston this season, like had I think both had like 14 overtime losses, which obviously with Boston they made the playoffs kind of easily, but like for the Islanders to make it with Islanders had 16 overtime losses. Boston had 15. Toronto had 10. The Kings had 11. And Montreal had 16. It's just, it's weird. It seems like controversial in a way. Like you get to overtime, you get points easily.
Yeah.
It's like, it's a little bit annoying too.
Yeah, and there's just a bit of a, I don't know what I was going to say there. But.
It's all good. So yeah, game tonight, final game. We will guarantee the trophy is in the arena.
Oh, yeah.
It is a guarantee going to a team today.
That's crazy. There's so much hockey tonight.
And
what
also,
am I supposed to do?
And it's also quite funny because Toronto still is cursed.
Yeah.
It is not. It's like you can't even make it up. It's actually hilarious. They were up 2-0 against Minnesota, winning 4-0, then 2-0. So you held them with no goals in the first 2 games.
Yeah.
And then you lose.
And
then you lose 2-0, and then 1-0. So there's the first.
Minnesota robbed us of a Toronto-Boston final.
That is true, but also, but Minnesota also created the funniest.
That's true.
Trend of Toronto choking.
Yes, absolutely. Although Toronto PWHL already beat the Toronto Maple Leafs for longest win streak, which is hilarious because the Toronto Maple Leafs have been around for quite a long time.
Yeah. Looking at some of the players in the playoffs, Taylor.
Oh boy.
We have not learned of our lesson of names, but Taylor Hesse or Heise, I do apologize, is leading the playoffs with 7 points. In the regular season, I can say this name, Natalie Spooner, 27 points. Sarah Nurse, 23, and Marie-Philippe Poulin also had 23. And is Natalie Spooner Canadian?
Yes.
So that's 3 Canadians in the top 3 for points.
Yeah, surprise, surprise.
I also don't think Sarah Nurse and Darnell Nurse are related. I was going to make a joke, but I don't think they're actually related.
I don't think they are either.
Alrighty, I think just moving on, just 2 extra.
Blair Turnbull's up there too.
Some what?
Oh, she's with Toronto. Blair Turnbull.
Yeah, Toronto seemed really stacked.
I did.
What
Blair's
team?
awesome.
What team is Hillary Knight on?
Ottawa, I think.
Oh, really?
Or Toronto.
Because I know she's the big, big American. And we're getting the greatest hockey player's sister is going to that league, I know. Phil Kessel. Amanda Kessel is going into the PWHL very soon. So
that's sweet. But yeah, Blair Turnbull's awesome.
She plays for Boston. Oh no, that's just her saying good luck to Boston. Oh.
Sarah Nurse?
No, Hillary Knight. PWHL 2012.
Captain of Boston.
Oh, she is on Boston. Well, she could win it tonight.
Yeah. But yeah, Blair Turnbull's awesome. When I was a ski racer, my strength and conditioning coach also did a lot of stuff for the national women's hockey team and coached Blair quite a bit. So I saw her in the gym all the time.
That's actually really cool.
She beast,
absolute
beast. I think I've mentioned it a couple times at the World Champs. It would have been a couple years ago when they were in Calgary, the Women's World Champs. Mm-hmm. I think they were at least. During the celebrations, she got dogpiled on and tore her ACL.
Oh, I remember hearing.
So then for the medal ceremony, she came back out on a fucking stretcher.
Yeah, that's badass.
That's super badass. Blair is awesome. Shout out Nate Dogg, our trainer.
I just think this league has done wonders.
They've done so well.
I know the NHL's not going to do this because it's going to lose them money, but I love the YouTube stream for the PWHL. I don't have to look for it on cable. I don't have to illegally stream it. Not that I do. But it's just I can just go on YouTube, search it up, and it's just there. It's just, I know the NHL's not ever going to do that, but it's just so nice.
Yeah, absolutely.
I won't lie. Just some new hires in the NHL. The Kraken have hired their second coach in their very short franchise history.
Dan Bilsma.
Yeah, we suck at names.
Perfetti. Why are there so many names that pop up? Oh, that's Winnipeg.
He was the Coachella Valley Thunderbirds head coach, which I actually think is the Seattle Kraken's affiliate team.
Coachella Valley?
Yeah. Seattle We don't have Alex, which is like this is his. Yeah, that is their age. So he's same
nice. Yeah,
same organization in a way. That's actually kind of cool. And the Blue Jackets new president of hockey operations and general manager and alternate governor. Well, I don't really know what that means. I don't know what the alternate governor does, but I know what obviously general manager and hockey operations do.
Yeah.
Don Waddell. He has a multi-year contract. He's with the Hurricanes. Yeah, experienced. He had a 3-year stint as a consultant and pro scout with the Penguins before arriving in Carolina in 2014. So, good for him. Hopefully, I don't really know where they're going to go with Columbus. Fantelli's obviously their future, so just going to have to wait and see. And then another award was announced as Anders Lee is honored with the honor to earn the 2024 King Clancy Memorial Trophy.
So that's an award for leadership qualities both on and off the ice, as well as humanitarian contribution to your community. So this one's a pretty big one, I think.
Yeah. Since 2017, Lee has gifted families affected by cancer with tickets to Islanders home games, and through the hectic regular season, he makes time to visit them after home games, which is a ritual that brings fulfillment to Lee on a personal level. Quote from Lee: I look forward to those encounters, getting to meet these families and these kids after games and spending some time with them. Those relationships are the ones I really value. Continuing, once you get to know somebody and get to know these kids and have a chance to stay involved, I just want there to be there for them in any way. Lee said it means a lot to both sides.
Yeah. With the King Clancy, every team gets to nominate one player for this one. This one doesn't get picked by
the NHL
writers.
GMs. I think they get to pick.
Yeah, so from the Calgary Flames, it was Andrew Mangiapane. From the Pittsburgh Penguins, it was Brian Rust.
Oh, I do remember that.
From Braden's Montreal Canadiens, it was Nick Suzuki. From Casey's Dallas Stars, it was Jake Ottinger. From Casey's Vancouver Canucks, it was Quinn Hughes.
What about Philadelphia? I think that.
Philadelphia Flyers as well was Scott Lawton.
I think it's an absolute honor, even if you're nominated. It's just
this is a huge one. Other notable names to be awarded or to be nominated by their teams was Cale Makar from Colorado, Brady Tkachuk from Ottawa, Jack Hughes from the Devils, Austin Matthews from Toronto.
What about Edmonton? Out of curiosity.
Edmonton was Darnell Nurse.
I actually was going to say that.
And then, of course, who could forget the ever-loving and never-elbowing Jacob Trouba from the New York Rangers.
Hey, he may do things we don't like on the ice, but I think every one of those players deserves a round of applause. Obviously, giving back to your community.
This is a great list of players as well.
No, it's amazing. I think even if you don't win, I don't think it matters. You're still doing some very, very honorable work, regardless of
it's
if
funny,
you're a winner or not.
I mostly know the name King Clancy from How I Met Your Mother, because there was an episode with Robin talking about.
We have fun here, don't we?
King Clancy.
We have fun.
We have fun.
But yeah, I think
got about 10 minutes left?
Yeah, I'll keep it honest with you guys. We are very surprised we actually got through an hour.
Yeah. Usually we rely on our mighty
We had a big
conductor.
team meeting after our Sunday show that kind of integrated a lot of new things and new ideas that can kind of make things more interesting for the viewers and listeners. I think, and then obviously when we were doing our pre-planning for the show, we were kind of concerned that we wouldn't be able to actually get through it.
This is a rough one. Usually we have Mr. Alex sitting in that chair, and he helps us out quite a bit.
Now we held our own. We actually stayed on topic for
we did
for most. I'm pretty impressed by by us. Obviously, you got playoff games tonight, tomorrow. You have a lot of hockey tonight. You have
So much hockey tonight. We got Edmonton to watch, you got Saginaw and London to watch, and you got some PWHL to watch.
You got some history to watch in the PWHL.
History to watch. The first PWHL trophy
And of course, it's not a
will
Canadian
be given
team.
tonight. Yeah, not to a Canadian team.
Other than that, obviously, there's your typical trade rumors. Marner there has been a big picture with their new coach in a coffee shop. Speculations from anywhere between you're getting traded to just trying to form a relationship. Obviously, you don't really know, especially with Marner's, with a lot of talk of Marner getting traded. Obviously, there's been a lot of mock trades. My personal favorite is a 1-to-1 Rempe for Marner. Obviously, that's never going to happen. It's just very funny, quite actually hilarious. Honestly, it's just been kind of slow. I think once the playoffs are done, we'll have different forms of content. But then when July 1st hits, we are going to be busy because that's re-sign. I believe a week before, or a bit. Obviously, you have a few days before to re-sign players that are RFAs, or UFAs. And then players eligible for an extension. So, just for example, Sidney Crosby and Leon Draisaitl, they can sign anywhere after that. But yeah, that's when we will have a lot to talk about.
And then also in about a month we have the draft.
Right.
And we've got another round of draft rankings coming out. This one's from Stephen Ellis from the Daily Face-Off. Obviously, the top of it isn't going to move much. Macklin Celebrini, everyone knows he's going first. He's going to the Sharks. The San Jose Sharks have already said they're taking Celebrini. So not a huge surprise there.
That's so annoying. Like, even with the NFL, give them 10 seconds. Everyone knows. You know who you're going to pick if you're the number one pick. Let's look at Chicago. You don't need 3 minutes. You're picking Bedard.
Yeah.
You don't need. You give him 10 seconds. We all know who he's going to go to. Done.
Yeah.
It's just it's 33 minutes of just Bedard.
Yeah.
It's going to be Bedard.
A couple other, not too many movements that I can notice. The biggest one, obviously the ones that we're interested in, is mostly Tijagimla from the Kelowna Rockets and Carter Yakimchuk from the Calgary Hitmen. We do have a Saginaw player from the OHL sitting 5th right now. Sam Dickinson as well from London.
Any
is
relation
sitting
to Jason Dickinson of the Chicago?
I don't know. Dickinson's a pretty popular name.
Siblings. Let's see. Josh Dickinson? Is that?
Sam Dickinson.
Sam Dickinson.
And that's a left-handed defenseman. Zane Perek from Saginaw is a right-handed defenseman as well.
That's why Carter Yakimchuk is so high.
Yeah.
He is a right-handed defenseman, and those don't come around easy.
Yeah. Caden Lindstrom's sitting 8th. Right now, Tijagimla has dropped to 11th.
That's good if you're a Calgary fan, obviously.
That is good if you're a Calgary fan because Calgary's picking 9th.
Who picks 8th?
I'm not sure.
NHL draft order.
And then Carter Yakimchuk also still sitting at 13, top 15 right now.
So 8th is the Seattle Kraken. I think it'd be quite funny if Seattle kind of.
I don't think they will because Caden Lindstrom is also very, very good.
San Jose, looking at the draft, San Jose has 2 firsts, obviously number 1, and then 14th from the Carlson trade from Pittsburgh. Chicago has the 2nd and the 18th pick, 18th coming from the New York Islanders, which actually that was recently traded, as the New York Islanders now have the 20th pick, which they got from Tampa via Chicago. I believe just Chicago owned the rights to Tampa's pick.
Yep.
Ottawa has 25th, and they are also picking 7th. And Flames have the 28th and the 9th pick. So, few repeats, obviously.
So we have 2 picks in the first round.
Yeah.
28th.
And 9th.
28th would be Tarek Parasek from Prince George.
It's pretty cool.
43 goals and 105 points.
Whoa.
with Prince George. Prince George was really good this year, though.
So
So you know what? Tidja Gimla and Tarek Parashek would be a great pick.
Oh, right.
Carter Yakimchuk's up there as well.
And we talked about this earlier, but Calgary's number 9th, and the Canucks pick from number 28 from the trade from Elias Lindholm. And that's the same reason why Pittsburgh doesn't have a first round this year. So I think that's wrapped up. It's ironically exactly an hour. So
yeah, look at us go. Thank you guys so much for watching. I would shout out our producer, Aiden, but he's not here as well. And that's why you've only seen us on one camera. I will shout out Mr. Terry, who's been helping us out today. He showed us how to start recording because Alex usually does that. He showed us how to help us out with levels because Aiden usually does that. So I don't know if he can hear us right now, but thank you very much, Terry. Thank you very much, Marek.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, watchers. We will see you guys on Sunday.
See ya.